Okay, so good thing I was talking for what, a whole minute there and just remembered that my mic wasn't turned on. Oh, see, I really love doing this with you guys because this is my practice stuff, and now you can just laugh at me and say, ha ha ha. Yeah, your sound was quiet before, and now we can't hear you at all. So, my apologies. I shall repeat what I already said since you couldn't hear me, unless you're a really good lip reader. So, as I was saying, over the last few weeks, I have been exploring some of the deeper issues that impact us as entrepreneurs and authorpreneurs. Things such as creating a balance that fits with where we are at in our lives, dealing with the inevitable overwhelm that comes from tackling various projects, being intentional in our thoughts and actions, and then defining success for ourselves as it relates to our projects and businesses. And acknowledging that there are times when we need support, and that support is in fact available to us. Now, since my own focus is on technology, an online presence, and helping non-techies, some of you may be wondering how these types of topics are relevant. After all, my mini intro that we developed last week, my mini intro says that, I turned stressed out non-techies into kids who grin at their computer like it's their favorite toy. Well, to illustrate the relevance, I want to tell you about two important mentors that are a part of my life. The first is my coach, Mark Malatesta. Now, Mark used to be a literary agent, and he hung up that hat to focus on the parts of being an agent that he loved most, which was helping and guiding authors through the publishing process. One of the key points that Mark emphasizes, and you've heard me reference, is that being a successful author is a decision. It's not luck. And this statement really resonates with me because I hold the same belief. I also believe that it applies to everything in our lives. Success in general is a decision, it's not luck. And part of the process of making it a decision is gaining control over the obstacles and the limiting beliefs in our lives. Things like balance, overwhelm, being intentional, defining success, and accepting support. I know I'm kind of repetitive. The second mentor in my life who has had a massive influence on me moving forward with my own passions is Stu McLaren. Now, Stu is an expert in pretty much everything to do with membership sites. But so much of what he teaches are based on beliefs and values, and the concepts can easily be applied to multiple aspects of our lives. Stu stresses that we shouldn't wait until things are perfect, that we should get started with where we are and what we have. We can always tweak, pivot, and improve as we progress. It doesn't have to be perfect. This again ties in very much with the obstacles and limiting beliefs that we face in life. Should we wait until we have everything figured out before we move forward? Heck no! Because we'll never achieve a perfect balance. We'll never eliminate overwhelm. Being intentional is never perfected, and we will always succumb to feeling alone at times. But we can work on all of these things in baby steps as we progress. Technology and developing an online presence is no different. It will always throw us curveballs that unbalance us. And there will always be something new to add to the mix that overwhelms us. And it doesn't matter how good you get at technology, that will always be the case. We will always slip into being reactive to situations rather than intentional about them, especially when it comes to technology. And we will run into times where we just don't know where to turn, to get the help that we need, or we'll be embarrassed to ask for help because we should be smart enough to figure it out. Well, these are all factors that are the key elements of what I help non-techies deal with, so that they're all kept to a minimum. I've said it before, technology is not magical. It's not complicated. It's not difficult. When you have the right steps, support, guidance, and patience. So in the upcoming weeks, I am going to be exploring more on what an online presence is, why it's important, and what exactly is involved with it. And I hope you'll continue to follow along. In this group in particular, I know that many of you are way further down the line. You've got your online presences at least started, and you're doing a lot of those different things. But like I said, it really doesn't matter how good you get at technology. Things change. Facebook, well, we all know how often that changes, and it's just an area where you can never have too much support, like there's lots and lots of stuff that we can learn from other people and gain new insights and stuff like that. So being that I'm a techie, that's very much what my focus is, and I'm trying, hope I'm succeeding, I'm trying to tie it together with this group in particular in terms of how it affects us as authors. Because how many of us have said at some point or another, all I want to do is write, I don't want to do all this other stuff. But the reality is that we have to, if we want to really get our books out there and build that audience and readership and turn it into something we're making a living from, and not just doing as a passion hobby, which I'm not saying that's wrong. There are lots of people out there who write as a passion hobby, and that's awesome, totally awesome. They're just a totally different group to those of us that I'm connecting with and talking to that really want to turn their writing into their career, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know there's different opinions out there, and some people, they get a little edgy about commercializing their passion like that. I'm all for it. I really am. I always have been. Seth Godin's famous for saying, rather than, trying to figure out when your next vacation is or waiting for your next vacation, maybe you should try and create a life that you don't need a vacation from. Well, reality is we all have bills to pay, right? I mean, we have to live. Money makes our world go round. So in my opinion, if you can turn your passion, be that writing or whatever for other people, if you can turn that into a means to earn a living and thereby create a life that you don't need a vacation from, that's a win-win-win situation all the way around. So yeah, I am very pro commercializing our passion. And that's what I focus on. So, like I said, I hope you'll continue to follow along. And that is pretty much all for now. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And remember, success is a decision. It's not luck. And everything doesn't need to be perfect to get started. Bye for now.